Alright, let's dive into something that's been bubbling under the surface lately, the reflecting pool case. Now, on the surface, it might seem like just another legal battle, but personally, I think this one's a real eye-opener. Here's why. Lawyers involved in the case are now claiming that the US Justice Department knew the case was flawed from the get-go. Let that sink in for a second. If this is true, it's not just about a legal misstep, it's about institutional awareness of a flawed case and the decision to proceed anyway. What makes this really interesting is the broader implication. If government bodies are knowingly pursuing cases with shaky foundations, what does that say about the integrity of the system? In my opinion, this isn't just a legal issue, it's a trust issue. When the public hears about something like this, it erodes confidence in the very institutions meant to uphold justice. And that's a slippery slope we don't want to be on. Now, let's break this down a bit. The reflecting pool case itself might not be a household name, but the principle at play here is massive. One thing that immediately stands out is the role of the lawyers in this revelation. Why would they come forward with this information now? Is it a matter of conscience, or is there something more strategic at play? Personally, I think it's a mix of both. Lawyers are bound by ethical obligations, but they're also human beings with careers and reputations on the line. What many people don't realize is that speaking out against a powerful entity like the Justice Department is a huge risk. It's not just about the case, it's about the potential backlash, both professionally and personally. So, when lawyers do come forward, it's often because they feel the truth is too important to stay buried. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. If the Justice Department knew the case was flawed, why did they proceed? From my perspective, this raises a deeper question about the motivations behind legal actions. Are they purely about justice, or are there political, social, or even personal factors at play? If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't an isolated incident. We've seen cases in the past where legal proceedings seemed more about making a statement than about achieving a fair outcome. What this really suggests is that the line between justice and agenda can sometimes blur, and that's a dangerous place for any legal system to be. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. This case isn't just about the reflecting pool, it's about the precedent it sets. If government bodies can knowingly pursue flawed cases, what's stopping them from doing it again? And more importantly, how do we hold them accountable? In my opinion, this is where public scrutiny becomes crucial. We, as citizens, need to demand transparency and accountability. A detail I find fascinating is how often these kinds of revelations come to light not through official channels, but through whistleblowers or investigative journalism. It's a reminder that the system isn't self-correcting, it needs external pressure to stay in check. So, where does this leave us? Personally, I think this case is a wake-up call. It's not just about the reflecting pool, it's about the health of our legal and governmental systems. What makes this moment so critical is that it forces us to ask hard questions. Are our institutions as impartial as we're led to believe? And if not, what can we do about it? In my opinion, the answer lies in staying informed, staying engaged, and refusing to accept the status quo. Because at the end of the day, justice isn't just about the law, it's about the trust we place in those who enforce it. And if that trust is broken, it's up to us to demand better. So, here's my closing thought. This case isn't just a legal drama, it's a mirror reflecting the values of our society. What we choose to do with this information, how we choose to respond, will say a lot about who we are and what we stand for. What do you think? Is this just another case, or is it a symptom of a bigger problem? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on this.